Sometimes it takes a while for the cognitive wheels to get turning, but they're turning now. So, the web of life is a real deal, and we humans rely on a certain composition of said web of life. And the globe is in no way seeking to sustain the web of life that we humans are wholly dependent on. What do I mean by that? I mean, in the Earth's history, there have been many cataclysmic events that completely shifted the whole biology of Earth. For example, way back when, there evolved a microbe that could photosynthesize in the presence of other microbes who couldn't photosynthesize. This microbe created an awful lot of oxygen as a byproduct of its photosynthetic capacity. That oxygen was like a foreign molecule to the atmosphere at the time, because the atmosphere at the time was very different to what our atmosphere is today. So what happened was, there was a buffer effect, which is very analogous to what's going on right now. There was a buffer effect for the oxygen produced by this microbe to have negative effects on the other microbes who were not used to the presence of oxygen whatsoever. That buffer effect was iron. Iron began to oxidize. Once all the iron in the oceans was oxidized, then the oxygen escaped into the atmosphere and all hell broke loose. This made the biosphere completely toxic to the composition of life that was present at the time. The analogy is this. We humans are emitting an awful lot of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, in the same way that those photosynthetic microbes at the time were emitting a foreign molecule, let's say, a molecule that the web of life at the time was not adapted to. I know the analogy only goes so far, in the sense that CO2 is not a toxic compound in our atmosphere, and is actually necessary for life, as it currently is, to continue surviving. However, at the concentrations it is rising to, it will eventually pass an upper threshold and perhaps become toxic to certain complex life forms, such as humans or doggos. In the same way that occurred then, it's occurring now. And the oceans are once again acting as a buffer. But once the oceans run out of buffering ability, then we're in for it. So the question is, will we continue to exploit the buffering capacity of the ocean to get another 50 or so years of CO2 emissions in and the accompanying feel-good sensations? Right now is the present moment for you, but for me, the moment has passed, and I see something needs to be changed. Something needs to be clarified. Cue the clarification. In exactly the same way as our ancestors did, we modern humans pursue those activities that make us feel good. The key difference is, though, that the technologies we modern humans use to get our kicks are energy intensive. We moderns demand an awful lot of fossil fuel energy to get the exact same explosion of microliters of feel-good biochemicals in the brain as our ancestors did when they sought out their means of getting that explosion. Or will we come to our senses and realize, okay, that's not a trade-off that's worth it. The whole of the future of the web of life as it currently stands hinges on we humans realizing this and saying, okay, that's not a trade-off that I'm willing to make. Future generations depend on us.